What's going on, everybody? So today I want to talk about roadblocks and potential mistakes that you could be making without even knowing that you're making them for season 28. Now, I made a couple videos talking about this, but this is going to be focusing mainly on, again, your altar progression, because, well, that is literally season 28. The season 28 meta is the altar, right? So you're going to be able to progress that. You're going to want to progress that as fast as possible. Now, if you're someone that just goes throughout and does your thing, plays your build, you may be missing out on a crucial part at level 19, as well as I want to go over a few other requirements during this kind of progression of the altar when you are clearing through your greater rifts, because you are going to want to save set pieces for whatever class you're playing. But it's only 4 specific sets, and it's the original sets. Let me talk about that for a second. Right here, if we just pull up let me just pull up the altar. We have the whole altar right here. I'll move myself over. We have all the different levels with the cost associated with it, and we've gone over quite a few of these. But at level 19, we're going to need these Tome of Set dungeon pages. Now, I did talk about this a little bit in a previous video, but I want to talk about the roadblock to this and mention what sets you actually need for these set dungeon pages. It's very, very simplistic to acquire. All you're going to be doing is heading to Act 1 and going over to Leoric's Manor, and you're just going to pick up these set pages. It's very, very simple, but you have to have the set on your character before you do so. So you can see here, we have to go to the royal quarters, and let me just open up the mini map here. You'll find that it's going to be just up the staircase over here in this room. It's going to be here every time. And as soon as you've acquired a full set, you can see here I'm wearing no set items, but you're going to be able to grab that page, and that's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything else. It's very, very simple, but you need the sets themselves. Now, what sets are we going to be using? Right here, I've got a list of them all. So these are the 4 original sets for each class, and you need 4 pages for each class, which means that each class you're going to want to save these 4 sets. For example, here, let's say you're going to start off the season with the Demon Hunter, and that's going to be your T16 farming build. But you're going to want to make sure you're keeping Marauder sets, Natalia sets, Unhallowed Essence, as well as Shadow's Mantle. It's super, super important that you do this. And if let's say you're playing another class, you're going to want to keep those 4 respective sets. For example, for Necro down here, I'm going to want to keep my Rathma sets, my Inaria sets, Shroud, and Tragul sets, all during my farming process. This is a very, very important thing, because oftentimes what you'll find is people will go through and you'll just salvage. You'll just salvage everything, right? There's not really a big reason to keep a lot of certain sets or gear that you're not going to be using. So oftentimes, including myself, I'll just salvage 90% of what I drop, unless it's like a really, really good ancient, and I'm like, man, maybe I'll try that build later on. So you're going to want to do something like this, where you're heading in here and you're saving all the different pieces for your build. In this case, I have a lot of Unhallowed Essence pieces, and you're just going to drop them in your stash and keep them here for when you need this requirement. Now, you pop back over and go over to the planner here. We will note that it's decently far into your altar, but it's not actually that far away. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's deeper into the altar, but in terms of time played, there's a very, very good chance that if you're not saving your set pieces, by the time you reach this point, let's say you are, I don't know, on your Ancient Hellfire Amulet, and you haven't been saving your pieces. Maybe you're playing a Demon Hunter, and you have your Natalia set, and you kept your Unhallowed Essence set, because those 2 sets are going to be pretty important, right? Let's say you're going to keep those 2, but you haven't kept your Mantle or your Marauder set. Those have been salvaged all the time. Well, then, you've reached this point, and you're like, dang, I'm already on Greater Rift 90, I'm going to get my Ancient Hellfire Amulet. By the time you've gotten your amulet, you probably don't have enough time to get your pages. And all the other parts of this are relatively quick, right? Going through here, doing these 4 is going to be almost instantaneous as soon as you hit level 70, right? Well, these are going to be done 18. 3 and 4 are going to be done as soon as you hit level 70. The 20 Forgotten Souls and 10 of each bounty mat. Again, another one that's going to be done pretty quickly if you guys take the cash. Uber bosses, Reaper's Wraps, both done very, very quickly. Then we have the just grinding greater rifts, Ring of Royal Grandeur. All that's pretty important, but very, very simplistic to acquire and very, very easy to acquire. So definitely keep on the lookout for these set pieces. One other thing I want to mention for these set pieces, if you guys actually have a Ring of Royal Grandeur, which we've just mentioned, you only need -1 of whatever set. So normally it's going to be 5 pieces for each of these pieces or set items. Instead of having the full 6-piece set, you could run in with 5 pieces plus a Ring of Royal Grandeur, and the game counts that as a complete set. So if you guys want to, you only have to save 5 pieces, and you don't have to worry about, I don't know, maybe filling up your stash with let's say you're picking up 5 pieces of every single one of these sets. You got 7 classes with 4 sets. That's 28 plus times 5. Now you're talking about like 100 and what is that, 137 pieces of gear, like something like that. Like, that's ridiculous. But if you guys are worried about that, or if you guys want to lower the amount of sets that you're picking up, or maybe you're just unlucky and you cannot get that last set piece that you need for whatever set item or set effect that you want to run, pick up a Ring of Royal Grandeur, and then it's going to reduce that set requirement by 1. So for example here, if I have the Unhallowed Essence set and I have exactly what I have in my stash here, I'm missing, what am I missing here? The chest piece. So I'm missing the chest piece. Well, no worries. I'll just go ahead and wear my Ring of Royal Grandeur or put it in the cube, and then bam, I get the Unhallowed Essence tome page, and that is completed. So keep that in mind, guys. Hopefully this helps. I just want to let you all know and give you guys an idea on what you guys should be keeping a lookout for when you're going through your altar and when you're going through your season, because it's really going to come up very shockingly quickly. Progressing the altar, if you guys know what you're doing and you kind of have prepared, you're going to cruise through it. And then once you've completed your altar, guess what? You can mess around, do whatever build you want, and then push the game like crazy. Hopefully you guys are excited. Also, I dropped a video the other day about Diablo 4. Let me know, guys. I'm very, very curious to hear if you guys are going to be joining me in Diablo 4. I know that a lot of people that are playing Diablo 3 right now are basically guaranteed to play Diablo 4 just because, well, they played Diablo 3 for maybe 10 years or so, and now they're ready for the next step up in the expansion, because I know Immortal was not people's cup of tea for the majority of Diablo 3 players. But with that being said, I'll leave you on this note, and I'll see you all tomorrow.